I'm playing the Steelers right now. You play, say what your game is.
Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh.
You play Jacksonville.
This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set.
Go to read the rules, because he's going to ask you if you read the rules.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports.
Yep.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
What's your name in there? What'd you create? Scotty B. There you go, I tagged you.
They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Fournette running right. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And it's fielded at the 34. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They go play action. Trubisky. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. The big Vita Vea pushing his way through to wind up with a sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
Yeah, this will leave him
not until
short.
next Madden when it comes out. Nah, I joined this one.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Play action. It's Trubisky. Rolling to his left. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things off.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Past the 20. Pushing his way through. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Leonard Fournette, for a big back, he can cover a lot of ground, and he showed off the athleticism there as he broke off a big one.
And the thing that stood out to me was his ability to continue through the initial contact. How many times do we see runners get slowed up and not get what they can on a run because of that first contact? But he kept the compass pointing in the right direction, kept the legs churning, and turned this into a huge play.
And you can see the total distance traveled there, and even 70 yards. Ryan Suckup on for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change?
The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Here's a give to Fournette. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Well, Leonard Fournette, not a guy to shy away from contact. He can lower the boom on you when he gets ahead of steam, and that was a heck of a run right there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
Extra point try now for Succop. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play and give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Trubisky will throw. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second and 5 now. Trubisky. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And the Bucs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Now their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's gotten them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap, allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. 152 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. Fournette, a first down carry. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. A handoff to Fournette. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
So Brady departs, and on it's Ryan Succop for the Buccaneer field goal. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And Succop will put this one right through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 40, right around the 39, so solid starting field position. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. But they find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah, can he put it aside? Let's find out.
Trubisky's throw here pulled in by Hilton.
After all that, they only wind up with a yard. It's second down.
He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
They go play action with Trubisky. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Play action. Now Trubisky. On the move to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Johnson's got it complete. And he's got this down to the 35. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest, I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down, but they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
Yeah, that decision paid off indeed. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Being chased out left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Steelers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession, as they will take over here with a little more than 30 seconds remaining. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. They'll keep it on the ground again here. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Brady now on first down. Looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Boswell for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. And the carry on first down by Fournette is going to wind up losing yardage as he stopped for a loss of a couple. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even big.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
Extra point now by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run it again with Fournette. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Brady now to throw.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
Brady not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it here on 4th. Brady to throw for it on 4th down. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run again with Harris. Runs over him. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Pat Fryermuth, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The
Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for it. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there. Well, I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. And some space here. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. A big play there on 4th and 2. That's sort of a prime example, is it not, of selling out defensively on 4th and short?
It certainly is, because what you're doing defensively is saying you're going to stop them right there at the line of scrimmage or make a play on the other side of the line of scrimmage instead.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum, filet at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak the first 3 times. There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 48 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Oh, yeah, can be. I don't know about that, man.
Now it's Trubisky. He sets to fire deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, Finally, someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky flush to his right. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Harris is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Trubisky to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
There's another example that playing football isn't strictly being physical. You've got to think as well. Nice job reading his keys by the linebacker and going out in the open space when they dumped it to the back. He was able to make the play and stop him short of the goal line.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Second down, back to Fournette. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. The Bucs on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Fournette. They find some open field here. A solid stiff arm. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run with Fournette.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters.
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Buccaneers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They will run it. It's Fournette. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. 90 ticks to go. Still time, but they need this onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Pass midfield. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And now off to the races down the right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, 52 yards. And the Steelers add on to their lead, and they appear poised to break this long losing streak. Boswell good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Fournette. Room here to run.
again. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Time definitely of the essence now. Just under a minute to play, and here we go. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle.